Hello everybody, and I am here again. I am teaching you live today, and this is Saturday. This means it is time for our grammar. And yes, if it is the first time you have joined us, we have grammar lessons at the advanced level. So we are discussing different small things, different tricky things about grammar, and yes, we are putting it all together. It is a series. We go live every Saturday at 7 p.m. and yes, you can't reach the recording. I am sorry. I mean, this particular one will be available, but the lessons are live, so to say. Hello, do we have the sound? Everything is okay? You can hear me? Yes, you can see me. And yeah, today, please let me know in the comments that the connection is good and everything is okay, because I really, guys, need you today. Today, you're asking questions and I'm answering them. So I see that everything is working properly. And yes, we had 6 sessions. We talked about verb tenses, modal verbs, about conditional sentences, about gerunds, started talking about gerunds and infinitives, and yes, the last session was about the verb patterns. And we are working very hard into turning these lessons into courses for you, which you can access, which you can take your time to study at your own pace. We are preparing the PDF downloads, the additional exercises for these courses, so it's not just me talking, but you understand it is very, very important to practice yourselves, right? And to try to, the main trick is actually to use this grammar in your own speaking, because if you can't use it, the exercises don't make any sense at all. And yes, I'm very happy to announce that we have posted the verb patterns lesson on our Skillshare platform, because it is a lot of information which you need to remember. And yes, we have cut it into the lessons. There is a table for you available for the download, so you can follow the link. You can sign up for the Skillshare. Don't be afraid. They are asking for a credit card because this is the premium course, but they are giving you 2 months of access for free. I think it is really a generous offer because you can watch all the courses, all our courses. We have 16 courses on Skillshare right now, and they're actually good. That's why I think it is a great offer. And if you want to take your time, if you want to study, I don't know, on your mobile, on your own time, yeah, that's a great chance for you. Just go to Skillshare, follow this link to get this special offer of 2 months for free, and you can watch the whole course about verb patterns. You can practice, you can download the table to remember better, and yeah, I'm sure it will be a great experience. And the whole course, advanced grammar course, will be coming soon to our website stordart.com too. And basically, yeah, I am answering questions today. I'm answering questions about verb tenses, modals, conditionals, verb patterns, gerunds, and infinitives. You guys were sending me messages. I was asking you on the page what questions do you still have. I have quite a list here. Let's see how much we will be able to do today. And yes, if you have any questions, guys, please write them in the comments. Maybe you want to verify some kind of some sentence, yeah, you don't know if it's the right sentence you made or not. Maybe you need me to explain some small points about these topics. I will be trying to go through my list, because yeah, thank you everybody who has sent these messages, because it is very important to verify that you actually understand it, that you actually can use it. And yeah, the first question, which was the most frequent, was really how to improve my grammar. And yeah, you understand the question is big. There is not, well, right now, yes, we are coming to this approach of learning languages, and I've been practicing and I've been training to use this new approach in my own English teaching, going a little bit away from grammar, so to say, not concentrating on it too much in this theoretical way, how we are used to doing that. And yeah, I keep telling you about the context. Yeah, it's very, very important to know how to speak and write in your real life context. And it, of course, depends on your real life situation. If you just travel and have friends, don't worry about grammar at all. Really, at all. I mean, it's very easy. Just listen to what people are saying and try to use it yourselves. So to say, I mean, we really don't need to spend time on these grammar exercises. The best way to remember it is speaking. Yeah, trying to use it in speaking. And statistics shows that, I'm not really sure, but the number, about 45% of grammar mistakes go away in the process of constant communication. So if you speak to people in English on a regular basis, especially if these are native speakers, especially if it is the people who know English a little bit better than you, the mistakes go away. Really, we even have this technique. I used this technique when I was teaching one-to-one. Yeah, I used this technique a lot. We called it a free flow. So we just gave our students time to speak freely, because after all these years of learning English, I mean, it just fixed itself in the process, so to say. If you are in a different situation, for example, if you need to use English for a job, yes, in your work, especially you need to write, for example, emails, documents, and so on and so on. Again, you need to find the relevant materials, but not to do this boring exercises. I mean, I can't tell I can't tell you they're boring. They're not boring for me, for example. But this type of exercise, when you need to choose one correct variant from several ones, for example, yeah, they are not practical. I mean, it's just the logical training for your brain, but when you start speaking, you can't remember the correct form. That's why it's better to, for example, to work with the text, with a short text, and then to try to reproduce this text. For example, just, I don't know, 3-4 lines, look at the article, try to understand, try to be sure that you understand why it is said so or not so, something like that, yeah? I mean, analyze the text, because I am sure you know a lot. You know actually a lot more than you realize. And after that, try to reproduce this text. Try to say this text. Try to rewrite this text, like write it from your memory, for example. Such focused training with very short, relevant materials. I mean, if you are a lawyer, work with the law documents. If you are a marketer, work with the marketing blogs. Yes, find somebody who writes well and just follow their lead, so to say. Listen to their talks and try to understand why they're speaking like that. This is a more analytical way of learning grammar. And yeah, I know it is difficult to start, but this is what works. And like to finalize this whole thing, I can tell you honestly, I mean, there is no more productive way to acquire grammar. We are not talking about learning it. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to learn the rules. I mean, you need to use it. Yeah, that's why we say acquire grammar. It is to produce yourself. So every time you write, especially when you write a text and then it gets corrected, Yeah, for example, you can go to italki.com. This is the website, and I tell people about it all the time. They have this notebook option. Yeah, I mean, additionally to searching for the tutors, you can find the notebook. So you can write a short text in the notebook, and it will get corrected by native speakers, for example. And this is the most productive way. When you actually say something and when you actually write something. That's why if you just want to do this automatic exercises, don't be surprised that the miracle is not happening. I mean, you only learn through doing, through producing, in the case of a foreign language. And that's why, this is what I have to say about the ways of improving your grammar. And every time when I am telling you something about grammar, yes, in all our lessons, I'm trying to follow this practical approach when it is not just the rule, but it is the situation. I mean, how it will be happening in your real life. Yeah, something like that. Connect, always connect all the language material which you learn, let it be grammar or vocabulary, with your own life context. There are some words in English which I'm not sure about because I never use them. I don't want to waste my time on learning them. Yeah, I'd rather spend time on practicing and mastering the structures which I will be needing in my everyday life. Yeah. Well, I hope it makes sense, and well, if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, talk to me. I really, really need you to be with me right now. So write in the comments what you think, if you agree with me, and of course, yes, your questions. Well, I have a substantial list of questions, and if you don't mind, I will start with them. Well, the first question which I have is, I'm working all day, is it a correct sentence? Because many people are saying it like that. I am working all day. When it is, you see somebody who is sitting, hello, 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 thank you very much for joining. So when somebody is sitting, still working, and they are saying to you, I mean, you're saying, oh my God, what are you doing and how long? For example, you will say, I'm working all day. No, it is not possible, and this sentence is not right, because here you are mixing two absolutely different situations, because all day is answering, it is answering the question how long. So how long have you been working today? Yes, how long have you been here, for example? And I am working is answering the question, what are you doing now? Well, this structure are doing implies now. I mean, it is the special grammar structure which implies, means the current moment. I always show it like that this is our now. I mean, imagine that somebody will move away the wall and they will see me standing, which is actually looking funny, right? I know. Yeah, I mean, they will see me standing, and imagine that somebody will enter the room where you are right now, and they will see you in the process. So this form, are doing, only describes this particular moment, just 1 sec. I mean, it doesn't have any length at all. Okay, that's why they have two aspects. They have this continuous, are doing, and they have perfect, how long. And these are two different elements. You can't put them together in one sentence, okay? That's why, yes, what are you doing right now? I am working, I am teaching, I am talking to you, you are listening to me, you are watching my video, you are learning from me. How long have you been doing that, for example? Yeah. So if you want to add the length here, you need to change the aspect of the sentence. So instead of am, okay, you will be using have been, because the length, the question how long, okay, it can only be answered using have if we are talking about the unfinished action. Yes, you can say in the past when you already completed that. For example, I can say I lived in Moscow for 5 years. I lived in Moscow for 5 years. How long did you live in Moscow? Because this action is not connected to the present moment anymore. Okay? But how long have you been living in Poland, you will ask me. How long have you lived? Have you been living, in the past, live, didn't like this continuous aspect. Right now, you can say it both ways. How long have you lived in Poland? Well, I have lived here for 4 years and a half. How long have you been living in Poland? I have been living in Poland for 4 years and a half. These are two same sentences. They mean the same. You can use live both in perfect simple and perfect continuous. It doesn't matter. And every time when you are answering the question, how long? How long have you been learning English? How long have you been married? And so on and so on. Even if you want to say just a minute, for example, well, okay, I have seen it for a minute. Okay, you noticed something happening. I have seen it for a minute. Yeah, like I have been watching it for, meaning how long, and you are still doing that. In this case, you will always be using, okay, this structure with have. This is very important to remember because in most languages, it is just a present tense. You just say it in present, yeah? I live here all my life, or I live here 4 years and a half. But it is different in English. It is, okay? Don't forget about that. Their present is not always present, really. So when you talk about the fact, in general, it is simple. I live in Poland. Where do you live? You can write me in the comments, yeah? If you're talking about this moment right now, you're saying, I am living. And if you want to show the length, you will add have. So that's why right now, please write me in the comments, how long have you been living in your current town, city, village, doesn't matter. So where do you live? How long have you been living there? Okay, just write it to me in the comments, and this is the best way to remember that, right? Yes, this is exactly what I was telling you. And this was about the verb tenses, yeah, the question about the verb tenses. I am still waiting for your... Well, Sergey, it's perfect, but can you please make me a full sentence, a complete sentence? Yes, of course, for 2 years, okay? But how, like what tense, what grammar tense will you be using here? And while I'm waiting for your comments, I will be moving on to the next question. Well, while Sergey is writing his answer, and I hope that somebody else is also doing that. Good. Now, what we will discuss. Okay, I received this question about the structure be about to. Somebody asked me how to use be about to, and as you can guess, be about to, it is the structure to talk about the future. Okay? The future, and we call it immediate future. Immediate future, it is something which is so close. I mean, it's just one step. Okay? It's just one step. That's why you are talking about be about to when you're already ready to do it. So this is your now. You are here in this moment, and you are already, you know, I don't know, putting up your foot, yeah, so to step somewhere, for example, or you see that something will happen. You already see some signs that it will happen. Very, very close to it. Okay? And yes, I always tell people this story about the film. It was an old film, The Fifth Element. Maybe you haven't even seen it. It was a very good old film with Bruce Willis. And yeah, they were looking through the window, and they saw the planet which was ready to explode. I mean, they saw that it was going to explode in a minute. And this guy, this general, he was shouting, "It is about to explode! It is about to explode!" Meaning that it will explode in a moment. Very, very soon. Okay? So basically, we could say that it is the synonym to be ready to. Be ready to. Yeah, I mean, when we are starting our video, for example, lesson, and we are like, okay, are we ready? Yes, we are ready to start. We are about to start. It means we will start in 2 minutes. We are perfectly ready. Just don't forget that you change this be into present, for example, or if you are describing the situation in the past, you will change it into past. So yeah, for example, I am about to start. Yeah, so when my partner is asking, yeah, so are we starting now? Yes, we are about to start. Yeah, I am about to start. I am ready. We will start in a minute. I was about to leave the flat when you called, or when you came, for example. So this is a clear situation. I was already at the door. I was ready to start moving, and then you called. So you caught me leaving the room. If you remember that structure from the verb patterns, you caught me leaving the flat. Yeah, I was about to leave the flat, meaning standing at the door. Very good structure. And yeah, it is not about the verb tenses. It's just we use a lot of set expressions about the future. You can say in this context, you can say also to be on the point of. She is on the point of crying. She is about to cry. Sometimes you see this face, yeah, when the woman is ready to cry, like she's about to cry. She's on the point of crying. You can say she's on the verge of, but to be on the verge of, it is more intense, more emotional something, yeah. The women on the verge of the nervous breakdown. Very good film by Pedro Almodovar, right? I mean, they are really here on the brink also, you can say. Because this future is so close, because it seems so possible. I mean, you are so close to it. It can also become imminent, and you can say be going to about it. She's going to cry. Okay? And she's about to cry. Something like that. So yeah, I mean, when we got Okay, thank you. When we got interrupted, yeah, I was telling you about this structure be about to, and I hope you now have a clear understanding of what is it. So it's called immediate future. It is similar to be going to like imminent future. It is something which is going to happen very, very, very soon. You are ready to start this process, and it's very easy to use because you just change was, yeah, you change the verb to be and you add the first form of the verb. It is really very easy, and I hope that, yeah, please use this structure. It is really good, really handy, and yeah, you need it in speaking all the time. And we will go on, we will continue. And now I have a question about the modal verbs. So the modal verbs, yeah, I've told you that they are still in the process, they keep changing their meanings. And yeah, this is a very popular question, and I think it's great. It was asked, and I will be happy to answer it right now. The difference between the verbs may and might. So somebody asked, is it the same thing? Or is it, are they different? Okay, may and might, the verbs, the modal verbs. They are partial synonyms, we can say. I will show you the lexical call. So generally, let me think. Okay, yeah, they will be overlapping each other. In the meaning, might will have very little independent meaning left, but may will have quite a bit. So they are absolutely the same when we talk about possibility. If you watched my lesson about the modal verbs, I told you that we use modal verbs to talk about something you feel possible. And when this possible is 50-50, I mean, yes, it's possible, it could happen or it will not happen, 50% of possibility. In this case, they mean absolutely the same thing. I mean, in some grammars, you could find this statement that might shows a little bit less possibility than may. But right now, most grammarians actually cannot identify this difference. They are actually the same when you talk about possibility. And in this meaning, they will be synonyms to could. So what could happen with us in the future, right? And yeah, we could go there. 50-50, maybe we will go, maybe we will not. I mean, this is how you explain this meaning. Maybe you will go, maybe you will not. We might go there. We may go there. We could go there. In this meaning, they are synonyms, these three verbs. And when you are talking about such a possible action in the past, again, they will be forming the past form may have gone, might have gone, and could have gone. Okay? Well, where was your wife yesterday? Well, I don't know. She could have gone to that party with her friends. She may have gone to this party with her friends. I actually don't know. Yeah, there was the possibility with it. Okay? So I see your question and we will go there. Thank you very much for asking. In this case, yeah, the meaning of possibility, they are the same. If we are talking about some other meanings, because may also can be used for asking and giving permissions. Yeah? You probably remember from school, may I go out for a minute? Yeah, may I go out? Maybe your language teacher, your English teacher told you, okay, about this rule. I mean, you couldn't just stand up, yeah, and go. You needed to ask for permission. This is another meaning. And in this meaning, when you are asking for permission and you are giving permission, like you may go, may I go out? Yes, you may go. Okay. Oh my God, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. So if you have any questions, please ask in the comments. Okay, so yeah, may I go out? Yes, I may. It's very formal. You need to understand that this is really this style of communication very, very, very formalized. So you will not be using it with your friends normally. You will not be using it with your colleagues if you are, if you have very friendly communication. It is only really when you are distancing yourself, yeah? And yeah, between a teacher and a student, if it is a very traditional school and you have very, very formal communication, then in this case, yeah, it's possible. So remember that may, when we are talking about the verb of permission, it is very formal style. Generally, you can just ask, can I go out? Yes, you can. This is conversational style, speaking style, okay? May, we don't use it in normal conversations anymore, so to say, yeah? And yeah, in this case, it is this different, unique meaning, and they are different here because we don't normally use might here, okay? And yeah, mostly you use them to talk about possibilities, 50-50 situations, and here they will be actually the same. There are some small shades of meanings, yeah, I mean, they will be used in some minor situations, but I think for speaking, for communicating, you shouldn't worry about that, yeah? So you just concentrate on this main meaning, core meaning. And here, yes, they are equal. Good. And we have a question, and it's a very good question, really. It's one of my favorites. It's a bit pity that not everybody asks it, but it is actually very important. So let me see, is it possible to use will after if at all? When we were talking about conditional sentences, and I hope you saw that lesson, yeah? I told you that it's not possible to say if I will, okay? Because if as a condition always makes a step back. I told you that when you are saying about two connected actions in the future, the first and the second, the one which is a condition, meaning that this will happen only after this happening, we need to show this connection, that they are so dependent on each other. That's why they are both in the future, but we use present after if. If, present, will. For example, if I get tired, I will go to sleep. If you are free tonight, for example, yeah, that's a good one. If you are free tonight, we will go out. So we will go out only if you are free tonight. And you can't say if you will be. Yes, it's about the future, but that's how you show the condition. That's how you show the connection. And yeah, I mean, we usually teach the students at elementary levels, yes, when we just begin learning English, we usually tell them, because it's such a frequent mistake. Many people make this mistake, truly. And I even hear American native speakers, for example, say it. If we will, I don't know, come there on time and so on and so on. No, it's very important for us, for teachers, to tell you never to use will after if, because it's mostly conditional sentences. But statistically, it's not impossible, and you need to understand. But it will be not conditional sentences when you use if with will. I hope you know that if also is used as a preposition when you report the questions. For example, are you ready? She asked me if I was ready. This if, I will show you. Of course, we will be talking about reported speech. We will have a class about it, because it's a very important topic, but just as a principle. So the question without a question word. You see, you just have a verb form. You don't have a question verb. That's why when you are reporting this question, when you are retelling this question, she asks, and you need to transform this question some way to make it a part of a sentence. First, you put it back into the sentence structure. It's not "are you ready" anymore, because it is a part of the sentence. It's not a question. And to connect these two parts together, you need to use if. Just as a preposition, just as a linker. So it has two functions. It's not a conditional sentence, right? It's just a usual sentence. Okay, thank you very much, thank you. So it's just a sentence. And in this case, you can use will when you are reporting the question in the future. For example, will you come? Yep, the question was, will you come? And now you need to report it. You will say, she asks if you will come. So you see, I have reported this question. It is an indirect question right now, and I'm asking about the future. I have no problem with using if and will together in this type of a sentence. If you turn it into the conditional sentence, yeah, for example, if you say, if you can't come, for example, you will do something. When you start connecting two actions together as interdependent, okay, then it becomes a conditional, and the rule of not using will after if starts to work. Okay, this is important, and just you need to remember that if is not only used in conditionals. It has two basic functions. You can see it in two different situations. I hope you know that. If you didn't know that before, I hope you know that now. It is quite an easy thing, and yeah, just remember that. But we will be having a lesson about the reported speech, because people keep asking us. It's very difficult for writing. I can't tell you guys, because next lesson we will be probably talking about passives, but I don't remember, it's in my plan. So generally, yes, in the course of 3-4 weeks, of course, we will have a lesson about the reported speech. It's not that difficult, by the way, but sometimes just people just forget about it. Okay, so this was a question about conditional, very good one. And we will be going on. Okay, what do we have here? 2. Okay, I have a good one about the verb patterns in my list. Let's work with the verb patterns. I was telling you about 2 types of structures with the verb patterns. Yeah, I told you that you can say I want to do something and I enjoy doing something. So basically, when you use a verb as an object, you can either use an infinitive, to do, or a gerund, doing. And you just remember after which verbs you use which form. And yes, I know people are struggling with remembering that. And that's why follow the link in the description. Go to Skillshare. Sign up to our verb patterns course. It's free for 2 months. You don't need to pay anything. They ask for your credit card, but it's just in the file. You can cancel anytime, but you can watch all the courses for free for 2 months. Yeah. And there you will have the complete lesson about verb patterns. Everything I've told you. Divide it into the lessons. You can watch it at your own pace. You can download the table. Which verbs use what after themselves. But I received this very interesting question. The person said, is it a correct question? He admitted to doing that. He asked me if it was possible to use it like that. I am afraid no, because admit was in the second group, and I told you that admit follows this pattern that you use gerund after admit, okay? That's why you just use a gerund. I mean, a gerund hardly ever uses to, because it's the form of its own. That's why you only have 2 options, okay? Either infinitive or a gerund. And you need to stop thinking about that as 2 words. The infinitive, it is one element. Think about it as 1 word. To do, to work. Functionally, it is 1 word. Okay? That's why stop moving these 2 everywhere. I mean, it's used with the first form. Yeah, to do, to speak, to like. But a gerund hardly ever uses it. There are 3 exceptions. I mean, it was such a minor case, I decided not to tell you about it, but generally, yes. It's possible to say to doing in several cases. And I actually have a separate question about it, because people ask me, why do we say looking forward to meeting you, for example, if you tell us that you can only use gerund without to? I mean, yes, it is the exceptions. I will tell you about it right now. The exception here is the structure look forward to the verb object to and the structure be used to. I told you about this habits, yes? I mean, when we were talking about modal, I think conditionals, yes? I told you about this special structure which we use to talk about habits. I am used to waking up early, which means I always wake up early and I feel good about it. And these are only 3 structures which are so strange. Because after these 2, you are using a gerund. And it's not normal. You need to understand that the English language actually doesn't like it. It's not normal. You just need to remember, memorize. That's why, yes, I am looking forward to meeting you. And they check it practically in all the English tests which you will ever find. They like to ask this question because normally, yes, we want to say to see, to meet. After to, yeah, I mean it's infinitive. But yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. I'm looking forward to seeing you around, okay? I'm looking forward to coming to your place. I'm looking forward to visiting you. Yeah, I object to being treated like that. Object means disagree. Object, it is when you say that you don't like this situation, okay? Yeah, she objects to studying at school, for example. She doesn't want to study at school. And yes, when you are talking about habits, when you are saying, for example, I'm not used to doing that. I'm not used to working so much. Again, it's a strange structure. You really need to remember that it's not normal. You have to do or doing, but to doing, it is the exception. And the same thing will be happening with get. Get used to, yes, it is the structure when you are developing the habit of something. And you will say, I am slowly getting used to driving on the left. If you moved to to Great Britain, for example, yes, I am getting used to driving on the left. And it's strange because I am used to driving on the right. If you lived in a country with the right side driving before, for example, yeah. So yeah, just these three structures. In all other cases, you either use to do or doing. Okay? Yeah. Thank you very much to that guy who asked this question. Good. So guys, if you have something to ask me, it's the best time actually, yeah, because we are doing great. We are going quite fast, and thank you very much for watching that. Let me see what else we have here. Okay. I have a very tricky question about could have done. Okay, let's think a little bit about it. And one person asked me, can have happened and could have happened. Is it the same thing? Well, no, they're not. And I can tell you that can have happened actually doesn't exist. If you remember my lesson about the modal verbs, I told you that can usually means the opportunity. So the situation goes like that you can do it. For example, you have some time tonight. If it's the evening for you, maybe it is the night or morning. You have some free time, so you can watch my English lesson, for example. This is the opportunity, not possibility, yes, because possibility is statistical possibility. Is it possible or not, statistically? But when you say, I can do it, it means that the situation allows you to do it. It's the opportunity. And when we talk about opportunity, you have the past form couldn't. So I can do that, I can't do that. Or I managed to do that. Okay, if one time in the past you had the opportunity, you managed to do that, or you could do that repeatedly, or you couldn't do that. Okay? In the meaning of opportunity, can has a past form of could. And in this case, can have happened doesn't exist. It has the form could. Why should it worry? But when we talk about possibility, so I will write it to you here, opportunity. And yes, of course we are working on the course about modal verbs because I know they're so tricky, really. And if you didn't watch the lesson about modal verbs, maybe it doesn't make sense, but yes, there will be repetitions, and of course I will be inviting you to join the course when it goes out. When you talk about possibility, as I said, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't happen, maybe it will happen, yes, maybe it will not happen. This is statistical possibility. And in this case, you use could. For present, oh my God. And I told you that may and might are synonyms here, yes? It's the same stuff. Could, may, might. It's present. So it could rain tonight. Yeah? 50-50. Maybe it will rain, maybe it will not rain. It could rain tonight. Future and present. And in the past, you can't use could anymore because it's used for another meaning. In the past, you use could have happened. So when you want to say, yes, it's possible it happened. There was a possibility of it happening. Yeah, I think it's possible, yeah? It could have happened. That's why we call it the past possibility. And when you are talking about 100% impossibility of something, so you know that it was not possible at all. 100%. It was not possible. You can say can't have happened. It was not possible. It can't have happened. 100% negative possibility. 100% not. So here it is 50% yes, but 100% not, because we use can't, for impossibility of something. Only in this way. It only exists like this. Can't have happened. Could have happened and can have happened doesn't exist. I hope it makes sense, because I'm always worried about the students with modal verbs, because the system is so messy, so clear, so crazy. That's why, yes, when the advanced grammar course is on and out and available for subscription, I really think that it will be a great opportunity to deal with the modal verbs. We are working very hard to make it clear, to describe it in such a way that it makes sense to you and you understand how it works. Okay? Good. So modals. But, well, at least I hope. I don't know. Actually, I've seen throughout the weeks, I've seen that the same people have been coming. So if you saw the lesson, I think it's actually clear. Good. And, well, I think I have another question. Yes, we will come back to the conditionals. And yes, don't be shy. If you really want me to tell you about something, this is your lucky chance. Honestly. I had one person ask me about mixed conditionals. So somebody asked me, what is mixed conditionals? Mixed conditional sentences, it is conditional sentence when you refer to different points in time. So I told you that the first conditional is about the future. When you come home, we will have dinner. Both actions will happen in the future. I will write it to you. When you come home, we will have dinner. If you are hungry when you come home, yes, we will have dinner. Both actions will happen in the future. So future, future. In meaning, of course, yeah, because I've already described to you this principle when you make a step back with the conditional to show their connection, but you mean physically both of these actions will happen in the future. The second conditional usually refers to present or maybe some potential future. For example, if, I think I need the connected examples, just give me a sec. Okay, for example, if we had turkey today, you would eat it. But we don't. Yeah, I mean, the second conditional always contradicts the reality. We don't have turkey. We only have chicken. So if we had turkey, it's present basically, yeah? Because now we don't have it. You would eat it. No, I mean, future doesn't matter, present. Okay. And the third conditional sentence refers to the past, both parts. I will continue with this dinner if you allow me. So, if you had cooked anything, if you had cooked anything yesterday, I wouldn't have ordered takeaway. Yeah, takeaway. Takeaway, it is the food which you order from some restaurants, pizzas and stuff like that. So let's look at the reality. She didn't cook anything yesterday. That's why the guy ordered the takeaway. Okay, there will be better probably. So, again, both of the situations refer to the past, right? She didn't cook. If you had cooked in the past, I wouldn't have ordered. Again, he has already ordered it. Yeah, they don't have turkey, they don't have anything to eat, so he ordered it in the past. You see, type 1, both parts to the future. Type 2, both parts in present. Type 3, both parts in the past. But sometimes you want to say about something from different time zones, so to say, yeah? Imagine that the most typical mixed type of conditionals. If you had cooked anything yesterday, we could eat it now. You are talking about the condition in the past, but the result in present. if you had cooked anything yesterday, we could eat it right now. But you didn't. That's why we need to solve this problem. This is mixed conditional. So you keep the structure from the original one, but you put the parts referring to different time moments together. And you can mix them any way possible, if the reality allows it. For example, it's very, very untypical to mix, for example, future with the past. But potentially you can take a part from any type of the conditional sentence and you can combine it with a sentence again of any type. This is what's called mixed conditionals. So potentially we talk about 4 types, but this is the most popular one. And students very often make mistakes when they try to say about the condition in the past, but the result in the present, and they construct it like one type, but you need to keep the form from the original sentence. You just mix them and you don't change them when you combine them together. This is what's called mixed conditionals. Okay, for example, if we liked traveling, we don't like, if we liked traveling, for example, we would have gone on a cruise last year. Not very likely combination, so we don't like traveling at all. That's why we didn't go travel last year. Not likely combination, but grammatically it's possible. You're not limited. There you will be really talking about the time, the time possibility, so to say. But keep the form. If you refer to the past conditional, always use past perfect. If you refer to the present condition, what is different from now, you use past simple. If you refer to the future condition, you always use present. It doesn't matter what you will be using in the next sentence. Again, we will be mentioning conditions because I want to have a separate lesson about wish, the structures with I wish. When we start talking about conjunctive mood, of course we will be talking about these structures because it is very, very very much used in speaking, and we will be coming back to that. But for that, I remind you, you need to catch the live lessons, because these lessons, we are using them for communication with our students, and then we are remaking them into the Advanced English Grammar course, which will be available soon, I think in the course of a couple of months. Okay, guys, I need to check if we have any questions. Just I'm sorry because I need to see it. Okay, let me check. I'm not sure I can read it right now. Just give me a sec. Okay. I'm sorry, I see your question. Just want to put the video in English. Some sentences don't know how to pronounce it. Can you please explain what you mean? It looks like I'm not sure what you're talking about. So do you want me to pronounce some sentences which you don't know how to pronounce? If yes, please add them to the comments and I will read them for you. If you mean something else, can you please clarify, okay? And I have a new question about zero conditionals. Okay, zero conditionals, it's very easy stuff. when you talk about general rules. So strictly speaking, it is not even conditionals. I mean, they don't have such a strong connection between the parts. But yeah, the most typical example it is if you heat the water up to 100 degrees. I hope I remember it right. Yeah, it boils. So yes, we have some kind of connection here, more or less, yeah, because if you do that, this happens, but it happens every time. So we call it general rule, universal rule. Yes, if you are rude to a woman, she's unhappy with you, something like that, yeah? And here, because it is the general rule, you use present simple in both parts. It is not very much used, it is not very popular, it is not used a lot. But yeah, when you talk about something which happens repeatedly, you will just use present simple, present simple. You don't need to use future here. This is what they call zero conditional. Truly, I use it very rarely. I mean, I don't even remember when I use it, but if you have this question, for example, in your test, yes, of course, you need to know that. So zero, present, present, first, present, future, okay, and so on and so on. Just for the condition, you every time you just make one step back. And please think, yes, about what time you're talking about. In English conditionals, this is what's the most important. Are you talking about past, present, or future? Okay. And yeah, I mean, it looks like that I am all. So I'm done with my list for today. This is the most frequent questions which I picked from your messages. And of course, yes, I am still waiting for the clarification about that question about pronunciation. Yes, human, please leave me a comment, okay? Right now I will be finishing with the broadcast, but this video will stay available on the page. And yes, if you have any questions, if you want to clarify something, please comment, and if you find it useful, of course, share it with your friends. And yes, about pronunciation, thank you very much for reminding me. You probably know that we are right now planning to have the free pronunciation challenge. And if you need help with English pronunciation, I think it's the best place for you to be. The challenge starts on the 2nd of November. You need to follow this link. You just type sayit.online/challenge. You can just type it in your browser, or you will find the notification on the top of this page. It is the free training. For 4 days, we will be working every day with your pronunciation. That's why if you need help, of course, sign up, come and practice with us, because it will be something unique, I promise, because I am compiling practical exercises with the best tools, and I will be telling you about the pronunciation rules, about the tools, and we will be making your learning plan together to give you a chance to speak clear, beautiful English. There is a lot of information on our page. Just go through the posts and you will find the link, or just type it like that, say try.online challenge. Thank you very much for being with me, and we will be continuing with these sessions every Saturday at 7 p.m. CST time. Starting from the next week, it will be CET, yeah, so Central European time. And of course. I hope you find it useful, and thank you very much for it.